All right, I'm in the half-asses, so that's done. What else is to be done here? I think that's it. Okay, here we go. It is the TMS show, and it starts in 3, 2, 1.
As I pointed out before, you should really take your time when shopping computers. Think hard and long about what you'd use a computer for. Check out the prepackaged software to find out how you can use a computer. If you want to play video games, buy a video game machine, because even the least expensive computer can end up costing a small fortune.
Shit, fire, that's a damn good deal.
The Morning Stream. Maybe I can help you. I am Boba Fett.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to TMS. It's the morning stream for Monday, March 17th, 2025. I'm Scott Johnson. That's Brian Ibbett. Hi, Brian.
Hello.
Hello again. Hello again. Hey, when were the Ides? Was that the 15th? How's that work?
Ides were the 15th, yeah. We had Pi Day, then we had the Ides, and now St. Patrick's Day. And I'm trying to figure out, like, Claire started spelling, because everybody does the whole TMS thing.
Yeah.
You know, T and M and S. But Claire started spelling happy Saint, S-T-P-A, and then she went off the rails and went S.
Claire, she's not off the wagon, is she? She's
yeah, and I've got live chat, so I've got, I should be seeing everything.
Yeah.
So.
I don't know what happened there, Claire. Let us know. How come you can't spell the rest of Patrick's Day?
She says YouTube cut her off is what she says. Okay.
Oh, that's a likely excuse.
Happy St. Pies.
Yeah, St. Pies. It is St. Patrick's Day. Check it out. I wore green. I remembered.
Yep, me too. Wore my island shirt.
I got a big Oh, yeah, look at you. That's even more like...
This is, you can't get any more Irish than this shirt.
I don't have any kind of pure Ireland kind of stuff. I got just green stuff. Well,
you need to go there and buy a shirt.
Yeah, if I went... You know what I'd do if I went to Ireland? And I do want to go one day. I will get a shirt while I'm there.
There you go. There you go. Good plan.
Yeah,
I will go there and I will buy a shirt.
I will buy a shirt. So, Brian and
all. This shirt in no, I guess I bought this in Dublin the day before we went and saw Claire. So
where does one go to buy a shirt in Ireland? Do you just go to?
We seriously just went to a. It wasn't really like a touristy. Here's a bunch of big plastic pots of gold and plastic snakes that you can drive out and stuff like that. It was like a because this isn't like a touristy Irish shirt. This is the team, the
rugby, right? Or no?
I think rugby team.
Looks rugby-ish to me.
Yeah, it does. It totally does.
I could be wrong, but little I know.
Is their sponsor.
I like it though.
So yeah, it was just a regular clothing shop, kind of the equivalent of, I don't know, what's a little bit better than a TJ Maxx or a Ross Dress for Less. It was just, your basic shirt.
I go places like that for shirts all the time. I would do that in Ireland as well, I'm sure. Nothing too fancy. Brian's not at whatever their Macy's equivalent is. He's not like going crazy. Just getting a normal shirt.
Yep. We and we did have to go into we had to go into one touristy store because Tina needed, her family comes from Ireland, and we found the McCoy coat of arms. She's a McCoy, everybody. The coat of arms has a bunch of, it's the thing I drew for her tattoo. It's the bird that doesn't have legs because it's always flying. It's always on the wing.
It's what's that
legendary, like a mythological bird.
It doesn't actually exist, right? It's like a
right.
You've told me this before.
I know.
I forgot the name.
Let's see if I can beat the.
If she's a McCoy, does she ever see a Hatfield and go get all like
She doesn't, but her dad worked at Martlet. Is the thing.
Oh, that's the bird.
Martlet. That's the bird. Her dad worked when he was working at some company. There was a Hatfield that seriously still held some sort of grudge and kind of did that. Like,
really
wouldn't sit with him, wouldn't hang out with him, nothing.
Damn, dude, that blood goes deep. I didn't know that was thing.
And Jim couldn't care less. He's like, okay, whatever. You have your little grudge, but I don't care.
Feuds are weird.
They are weird. It all started with a pig or somebody getting pregnant or something.
Something like that.
Remember.
Well, the one, according to the
miniseries,
the miniseries, which was supposed to be pretty autobiographical, it had that Romeo Juliet thing in it, but it was wasn't the only thing. Like there were already lots of pressures and problems and issues, and then the fact that these two got together really set off the powder keg. And if you haven't seen it, it's great.
It's good. Yeah.
Yeah. People out there should watch that. I think it's like long, but it's very good. It's great.
Had the late Bill Paxton? No, who did it have?
Yeah, it was Bill Paxton was the Hatfields. No, the other way around. He was a McCoy.
He was a McCoy.
And
that's right.
Kevin Costner was the Hatfield. And then
there been one of the last things he did, right?
It was close to it. Yeah. Well, trying to think. When did I always feel like the last thing he did was Edge of Tomorrow, but I could be wrong about that.
Could have been.
Gosh dang it, he was good in Edge of Tomorrow. That could have been the biggest cartoon role for anybody else. Could have been just like, yeehaw, this is dumb. And he owned it. He was so good. I miss Bill Paxton just about every other day. I'll tell you that. I miss that guy.
Oh, he was in The Circle, that thing with Emma Watson and Tom Hanks that I never watched, that sat in my Netflix queue forever, and I never watched it. That was 3 years after Edge of Tomorrow. Wow.
I wonder if that'd be worth sacking one day, because I haven't seen it either.
Oh, I bet it would be. Yeah.
It's the only way I want to see it, I think. It got panned pretty hard, if I remember right. It did. Wow, Hatfields and McCoys, 2012. I would have thought that came out way later. He was on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Oh, shit.
For part of a season after that.
All right. Older than I thought.
Way older than I thought.
Yeah. Holds up, though.
One of the first things you can find him in is the music video for the song Fish Heads by Barnes and Barnes.
Oh, man. Fish head, roly-poly fish heads. Really? That's crazy.
Yep. Yeah.
They had a video? I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah, I remember it. It was just shots of, like, dead fish, and it was cut, like, with each verse.
Oh.
Like, fish heads. It seems like I saw it on...
Wait, they were cutting fish heads with the fish
They were cutting fish heads, too. But the video cuts were happening.
Oh.
Yeah, but they did cut a fish head in the... Yeah, okay, Fastidious, you saw it on SNL, too. I can't explain why, because it doesn't make sense that we would see it on there unless it was a Schiller thing. But Tom Schiller
must have been like what years would that have been? That would have been like
70 or maybe early 80s, but I think like 78, 79.
Yeah,
really
80, maybe 81, 82.
Maybe. Yeah,
there must have been a time there. If you think about it this way, you're just hitting 50 years on SNL, and it's such a monumental, number and everything. But it's also kind of funny how in peril that series was just 10 years into it. Mm-hmm. And it didn't look like you were going to get SNL for 50 years. It looked like we were kind of like...
No, it was like, as
petering out.
As the recommendal from Nicole states, it was really just a thing to hopefully get Johnny Carson reruns on.
Yeah. Such an odd story, that whole thing. Well, all right then. Oh, it was 1980 and Paxton directed it? What?
Oh, yeah. Well, he was also a member of the band Martini Ranch that had... It wasn't I Want to Be a Cowboy. What was it? Oh, Reach. It was Reach.
Wait, hum a couple bars of Reach. Or is that the band?
The band is Martini Ranch, and the song is Reach, and Reach goes, Reach, that's what he said, then he turned and shot me dead. Reach. It's like an old Western song.
I don't know. I don't think I know it.
I've got it. Let's see if I've got it here in my library. I can send it to you really quick.
Yeah, I don't think I have heard that before. It's not ringing a bell.
Yeah,
although
it was...
Tequila Ranch sounds like something I would ask for at the restaurant. Put that on my wedge salad.
They also had a great song called Hot Dog, which is just like, again, a similar, very similar thing that, okay, there's Reach.
Came on, he was gone. One day
Doing something?
That's Paxton singing, yeah.
That's him singing?
That's him singing the Reach part, I think, and then there's another Todd Rosenthal. Thank you, Dr. Calhoun. I think is the other vocalist in there. And is it like here's a list of all the instruments they used in the 80s. Cool, we're gonna put all of them in this song.
Every single one.
Every single one.
Don't leave any out. What's Billy Ocean doing? He's keeping a couple of those to himself. Go get those from him as well.
All right, go borrow that one from Get Out of My Dreams, Get Into My Car.
That's amazing, dude. I had no idea he was in a band at all. This is a big learning moment for me. I didn't know any of this. Well, anyway, Bill Paxton, rest his soul. Let's move on with what we got today. I'm going to start today with a text we got from Tandy 255. Okay. Sounds like just a great computer, to get started with.
The old Tandy 255.
Anyway, he says this: Dear stethoscope and bedpan. Sorry, Brian. I mean, the B.
No kidding. I really got the short end of that stick.
Yeah. The B is for bummer today. Thanks for being great examples to the community by keeping up with your colonoscopies. I know that you know the difference, but sometimes you brush over it lightly. The finger up the bum is for checking your prostate and is different than a colonoscopy. Both are great and important to get checked. Moon River. Love the show, though. Tandy 255. Oh, we get that reference.
Yep, we totally do. I'm going to get that. I'm going to see that difference today. As a matter of fact,
all right.
You had one last week. I'm having the other one this week.
Yep. And you don't really have much prep to worry about, other than there's a little bit of the old. Make sure you've emptied the tank before you head in there.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
I know. Is it weird that I want to take a shower before I go have my physical done? Even though I took a shower this morning, it's like
I get it.
Yeah. That was like 6 hours ago. I'm taking another shower.
Yeah, I totally get it, dude. I have that feeling every time I go to the doctor. I just want to be like the cleanest person they've ever had to talk to. Even if we're just in the room and no one does anything and it's just talking. I want to be so squeaky.
Exactly.
But anyway, he's got a good point there, though. So when we bring this stuff up, sometimes we laugh about it and we're, this is the age you're at, I got to do stuff. But it's important. So go get yours scheduled, everybody out there. And talk to your doctor and just, do your checkups. A lot of preventative care goes a long way these days. So get in there. Get that done. I'm with Tandy 255.
Please do. Do it. Don't disagree with the RAM in that computer. Tandy 255 says, get it done.
No, the Tandy knows the answer to life, the universe, and everything. Okay, we got this call. It's a guy we know. You may know him as Barry. Although Barry seemed to accidentally hang up on himself halfway through his call.
I think he called from his Vision Pro, I think is the problem.
Yeah, I don't know what happened here, but whatever happened. And this is what he had to say. He actually had a question. I think he had an answer. Well, I know he did because he said something to us in private later. But he had a question that I thought would be just good for us to answer for everybody who was curious. So here it is.
Hey, Scott and Brian, it's Barry.
Barry
Was listening to the Patreon Friday show at patreon.com/TMS. And you mentioned a game that was like Balatro, but was like blackjack.
Okay. And then he cut off. I don't know what happened there. That was the fullness of the call. He must have hit the button or something. But what he was talking about, it's a game like blackjack. The game is called Degenerate Gamblers, right?
Degenerate Gamblers, yes.
Dungeons and Degenerate Gamblers on Steam. It is currently available for PC, Mac, and Linux, and of course plays great on Steam Deck. Yeah, and it is, I don't think, a few people said, hey, did you say the name? I thought I did on the episode.
Yeah, I thought we did too. Yeah.
But I didn't say it again at the end, which is always the thing you should do. So we'll say it one more time. It is Dungeons and Degenerate Gamblers. And it's very fun. I played a ton of that this weekend. Rad game. And if that sounds interesting to people at all. And it's not, I've played enough of it now where I can honestly tell you that if you're worried that you've had too much Balatro and you're like, I can't do more of that, it's not the same. It's very, very different. Partly because the base game is totally different. It's not poker. It's freaking blackjack. Yeah. And blackjack just opens up a whole panoply of different mechanics. And it's very, very good. So play that game. It's on sale right now.
And still on discount till the 20th. So you've got until Thursday to buy this at a discount.
That's right. Oh my gosh, the 20th is Thursday?
Yeah, I know.
I'm sorry. What? Are we going to get March at all? What is that? What are we doing? This is lame. I don't like it.
I know. We haven't even had any snow. We have not had any snow since I got the snowblower. Since I did the scheduled moon landing where I had to perfectly time rockets to go off in space to get a snowblower here at the beginning of the year. We have not had a snowstorm since. So
that's a bummer. You want to try that thing out?
74 degrees is what it's going to be here today. It's going to be gorgeous. This is too much shirt for later. So
you're going to be hot later.
Yeah. Plus, I gotta put on an easier to remove shirt and lift up for drawing blood and stuff anyway for the physical. So putting on a T-shirt when we're done with.
We're doing
show.
a whole panel, are we? They're doing the blood and everything, all that stuff.
I assume so. I just want to be ready if they do. I figure they're gonna. It's been a couple years since my last physical.
Yeah, they'll probably take blood.
Forgive me, doctor, for I've sinned.
You're in a little booth. That'd be great. I would love that in a doctor's office. Well, thank you, Barry, and sorry about the borked end of your call, but I think he figured it out. He's been playing it and he really liked it. It's my understanding.
Oh, yes, he's already picked it up. Good.
Yeah,
okay,
I
cool.
believe so. Also, a quick ticket reminder: frogpants.com/shop, or if you'd rather, frogpants.shop is where you can go, or you can go right to tms.vegas. Either way, you need to get your TMS Vegas tickets because they need to be gone. We need to sell them. They need to go. So get in there and get them. All right. There's still some available. And if you're coming to Vegas at the end of the month, all the details are up at tms.vegas. We want to see you. So come be seen by us and others.
Please do.
Yeah.
And go make sure you update your the spreadsheet where you can sign up for everything. And if you don't know about the spreadsheet, you can get to it by really almost any of the buttons except for the video game tournament. Go sign up for that as well. But the other two buttons will take you to that spreadsheet where you can sign up for all the other non-official events. And that reminds me, it's time for me to give the Swingers mini golf dude a call again today and say, hey, what's up? What's going on with those times, the time slots?
Yeah, Mr. Swinger man.
Exactly. Put your key out of the bowl and call me.
I got to hang out with my buddy Josh and his awesome wife over the weekend. He's coming to the event, so that's cool. He's a listener of the show. And we went to dinner and to a car show. Ooh. And I gotta just recommend real quick. So this wasn't like a car show like the Detroit one where it's like all new concept vehicles from all the big major manufacturers. This is like a classic car show.
Check out our car that's really a drone draped with a car-shaped piece of fabric.
Exactly. It's like, what's that giant egg? No, that's a new van or whatever.
Right, yeah.
And it runs on breath or whatever they do now. So we
said I do want that new Volkswagen Buzz.
Oh, it's awesome.
Awesome.
Freaking love it, dude.
I so want one of those.
Yeah, I want one too. But this event had multiple old VW buses and ancient bugs, and they had
some classic car shows.
Yep, they had the first Corvette off the production line ever made. They had that there, and then they had all these like restored, Mustangs from 68 Mustang and 70, whatever the hot years were, and everything in between you can think of. The car that they had in Men in Black was my favorite car there. It wasn't that car, but it was that model.
It wasn't right.
Beautiful frickin' car. Gosh dang it,
That's
dude.
Cool.
It is such a pretty car. All that interior silver and the engine's all chromed out and the just jet black outside, shiny black. It's freaking beautiful. Anyway, it was really fun. And I guess I'm just here to say, if you have a car show like that come around and you're not even into cars, do it anyway. There's something about it. There's something in a car show that just gets into your blood, and I loved it. It was a great time. It's gone now. It was here all weekend. Now they're done, and now it's some gun show this week. So I don't care about that stuff. But
the gun show,
yeah, man, show off your gun.
The whatever Denver Comic Con changed their name to, Fan Expo, also has a really good car section. So they'll actually have a portion of the event center specifically for pop culture vehicle replicas. So of course an Ecto one and a Jurassic Park Jeep and stuff like that. But they usually have quite a few, like a Batmobile or two, different era Batmobiles and stuff like that.
This one had a weird volume of this. I wasn't expecting this, but like a ton of what do you call them? Shit, what are those called? My brain just went dead on what I was trying to say. What was I trying to say? They had a bunch of El Caminos. Tons of El Caminos, Brian.
Really?
Yeah. I couldn't really explain to you why there were so many El Caminos. Although I got to show you this
one. It
one.
might have been a specialty thing for that show, right? Like it's a classic car show. Also, we're highlighting the El Camino. So if you've got one that's been done up, bring it.
Yeah, possibly. Just was so many, and some of them were just kind of plain, like they were nicely restored, but they weren't anything special. But then there's this one. Look at this shit. This is just, they went too hard, if you ask me.
No kidding.
They bulbed out these windows, so like even the windshields are replaced with these bulgy things.
a skull. It's like a skeleton dude who's turning into a checkered flag.
Oh yeah.
Who's doing the gear shift down there, and then I can't even tell what's going on at the end of him. Like, and then I'm going to turn into purple flames just because.
It's weird. It's like a very, and look at the, I don't know if you noticed this, but the engine, the way it's like poked out of broken metal, like.
Oh, it's broken, like it popped itself out of the hood.
Yeah. And then these like 1960s, like futuristic bulge things.
Windshield.
Yeah. And then big old bed cover.
It looked like spatulas on the car seats, like the pattern. It's just the angle. It's the two holes, the air holes.
Yeah. They're going to a barbecue party and got a few of those in there. But anyway, there was a lot of stuff like this, a lot of weird decked out business. And then they had, as you can see, there's an old Model T back there. Bikes. Oh, yeah, they had a whole Schwinn. Look at this whole Schwinn area of old bikes.
It's a whole Schwinn area.
Yeah, it was crazy. The O'Reilly guys were giving out sunglasses, which I thought was a little weird.
That's interesting.
And then my favorite car is this one where I thought it was going to be, I thought Snoop was going to get out of it. Like, look at that thing.
No kidding.
Pimpmobile, baby.
That's a low rider where the rider is lower. Like the actual rider is lower than the wheels. It has to scoop out earth in front of it to be able to drive that low.
Yep. And everything you see about that paint is exactly what you think. It's iridescent. Inside's this crazy combo of leather and carpet on the doors. Big old, furry, what do you call it, dashboard.
Sure.
So low, there's no way you're clearing most speed bumps. You're just going to die.
A speed bump or even somebody's McDonald's cup on the ground, you might get high centered.
Even the engine's painted to look all weird.
It's an interesting paint job. It's like what our 70s bicycles had.
Yeah.
That mix of stripes and the candy apple paint job and that sort of thing.
It was definitely like that. And I walked around the rest of the show going beep, 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 beep.
Sure.
I couldn't help it. Just got in me.
Take a little trip with me.
Low. I was doing the low right. And Kim's like, "You're too loud. You quit doing that here. It's too loud." And I'm like, "Honey, it's a crowd. There's lots of noise here. It's fine. I can do it."
Plus what, somebody say, "Hey, that song, you can't talk about that song here."
Yeah, exactly. Plus I had we had food. Well, like I said, we went to dinner before and I had a bunch of wings and stuff. Or not wings, sorry. We had nachos. And, I may have crop dusted a couple of cars while I was there. Just, walking by. It's not a problem.
Left your own shimmer on the automobile, you say.
Yeah, left my own DNA in the room, if you get my drift.
Nice.
What'd you do this weekend? Anything fun? Did you get up to?
We had my nieces were in town. Well, my niece and her two daughters were in town. They're the greatest, man. Just love those girls. The went out and had burgers with them for lunch on Friday, and then that night went back out for pizza because we had to have pie, so pizza was the appropriate thing. Went to a place called the Garlic Knot. Oh man, good pizza.
Oh really? I love a garlic knot, but you're telling me it's their pizza. You should go.
They have excellent garlic nuts too. Like we tore through 2 baskets of those pre-pizza.
That sounds great.
And did that, and then saw our other niece Rainey on Saturday night for dinner. So got to see just about all of George's kids, and technically they're all cousins, but they call us Uncle Brian and Aunt Tina, and so we go with it.
That's great. Why not? Yeah. I'd take that.
Yeah, exactly. I don't have any. I guess I do because of Tina's brother having kids. So I guess I'm a real uncle to those kids. But
they live kind of far, right?
The girls, they do. They live in Kansas City, and Carolyn and her 2 daughters live in Houston. So we don't get to see them nearly as often as I'd like. Yeah, they're good kids.
That's great. Always fun to hang out with family. I got a lot of that going on with my mom and her situation, so it's similar stuff.
Yeah.
Though we took Van yesterday. No, not yet. So Wendy will be here. I guess it's as soon as. Is it next week or the week? I guess this week, maybe this weekend.
She'll be here. We could have her live in studio for Playdate.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's right. My cousin was here from Denver. Caroline was here. Who else? A few others, but we went there yesterday.
Nice of her to visit you, but when will you visit her?
Well, she came. I guess she has this group of childhood friends. She comes here once a year, and they all do fun stuff. So she timed it to visit my mom. So she's here every year, and I didn't know that. She never says anything.
Oh, funny. She never.
Yeah, never knew about it until this year. So it was kind of weird. But we were there yesterday. It was funny. We go in there, and this place has a little bit of a smell. It's not like horrible, but it smells like a place where maybe a ton of old people are getting physical therapy done. Just kind of a, I don't know. I don't know what to call this smell, but there's a smell. And we took Van, and Van's in there. He's 6, and he says what's on his mind. And he walks through there, and he's holding my hand. He looks up, and he goes, "Pops." I go, "Yeah, bud, what's up?" And he goes, "Smells like Phoebe's diaper in here."
Oh, no.
And I go, "Yeah, maybe a little bit."
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you're a little kid. And you just say what you say.
You say what you think. Yep.
I had no
Hold
problem
on to
with
that, Van. Don't ever lose it.
Yeah, I laughed pretty hard. I thought it was great. They have anyway. We hung out there, and he did good. Oh, he did say this thing to me because he's really excited for today. In fact, he's upstairs right now. They made green eggs for.
Oh, funny.
Yeah, all that. I'm not eating that yet, though.
Green eggs and bacon.
Green eggs and bacon, and it's closest to ham as we got, I guess.
Yep.
And he's really into the holiday and everything. And yesterday he says again, sitting with me at lunch, and he goes, "Pops." I go, "Yeah." And he goes, "There's only one St. Patrick's Day." I go, "That's right. That's true. There's only one." And he goes, "Do you know why?" And I said, "Why?" He goes, "Because leprechauns are messy." And I went, I don't know where he got that. Leprechauns are messy.
I don't either. It's like that's the only thing holding us back from having multiple St. Patrick's Days per year is that we don't want to clean up after the leprechauns.
Yeah, I don't know what to this minute. I don't know. I asked him. I said, "Where'd you get that from?" He goes, it's just true or something, or leprechauns are messy. They make messes." And that's all he would say. And I was like, I guess I could see it. Has
he seen the movie with Warwick Davis? Oh my God, what is he?
I don't know where he's getting it from. Honestly, what's a leprechaun movie that isn't Leprechaun, the movies that we're thinking of? Like, what is there a cartoon with a bunch of dirty, messy leprechauns that I don't know about? I couldn't figure it out.
There might be. Yeah, that's really funny.
It was a hoot.
Wow. Okay.
Anyway, we had a good time. And so, quick update on my mom. She was doing pretty great yesterday, so we're very happy.
Oh, good.
John only made 3 or 4 dumb comments, and it was fine. All right. Should we play a game? Shall we play a game?
Yeah.
All right. Then I'm going to...
Mondays are for. It's our way to ease into this horrible back-to-work day every week.
That's right. No sleep till Brooklyn, everybody. Let's get him in here. Where is Dunaway? There he is. Hey, look who it is. It's Brian Dunaway, who joins us on Mondays for the Morning Half-Asses. Good morning, Brian.
No, hi, Scott and Brian.
Hey.
Happy Monday.
Yeah.
And St. Patrick's Day.
That's
to
right.
a lesser extent.
You guys should have heard me and Dunaway's chat about the 3-shell method when you take a poop in... what's the movie?
That would be the Demolition Man.
Demolition Man, yeah.
Demo it.
Yeah, we had a whole philosophical... No one will ever see it but us, but a big, long philosophical discussion about the 3 shells and how they might work. So...
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we figured it out.
Yeah.
In a world where Taco Bell is the only restaurant, I feel like you need 6 or 7 shells minimum.
That's what I'm saying. Funny enough, I went there yesterday, and my comment this morning was, I had an experience this morning that needed way more than 3 shells. I needed all the shells, please.
Nice.
All the shells,
Yeah.
baby.
Do you have any more shells? Hey, can you bring me some extra shells from the cabinet?
And big ones, the big ones, please. The big
Yeah.
clams. Hey, Brian, it's good to have you here. We're going to play this game, and it's going to be great. That I can promise you. But Brian Ibbett here will have to explain the rules and who we're playing for.
Yeah. Welcome to Morning Half-Asses, a trivia game where I'm actually going to be giving you the answers. I'm going to give Scott and Brian a category and 6 possible answers. 3 of those are correct, and 3 that, like the cleanliness of leprechauns, are incorrect. Depending on how confident they feel with the category, they can provide 1, 2, or 3 guesses, but if any of those guesses are wrong, you get 0 points for that round. Now, write all this down because I'm not going to answer questions afterwards. Get 1 right, you get a point. Okay, go so far, so good.
Got it.
2 right gets you 3 points. 3 right gets you 5 points.
Wait. 1 right gets me.
Man, I knew you should have written this down. We'll add up all the points after 3 rounds, see who wins the prize for their contestant. I said contestant. Yes, we have 2 of them. They're members of the Tadpole. They're unable to be here live. Scott, you're playing for Tristan Adams in Colorado. I don't think he's in Aurora anymore when he submitted this. He's in Colorado Springs or Pueblo or something. He's further away, unfortunately.
We love that guy. He's great.
We do.
Yeah.
Has one of the best manicured beard mustache combos ever.
Oh, it's embarrassing for the rest of us with facial hair.
It is. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like every
awesome.
hair, no hair's out of place. Brian, you're going to be playing for Bombi. Yeah. In Germany. So look at that.
Oh, now I feel pressure.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's my favorite German resident. I love that guy. Sorry, all the other Germans.
Can argue that. Yeah.
Sorry, other the Germans.
Yeah. I like him.
All right. So let's get to the game. Let's start off with something that I had to pick because it's the 17th. It's St. Patrick's Day. So which of these 6 items are shades of green? Your choices are Magnolia, Tarragon, Paranon, Tenna, Celadon, and Malachite.
I think Tenna.
Which 3 of those are actually, could be Tenny?
These are green, not green,
right.
but are green.
Right.
Okay.
You're going to select the ones that are shades of green.
And what happens if we get it wrong? Get a pinch me?
Yep.
I told you before, and you didn't write it down. It was your choice.
Yeah. You pinch your testicle. Your left one.
Pinch.
Pinch your testicles. All right. Well, I have locked in because I am only confident in what I have chosen. I'll say that.
Boy, Brian, you went all over the place with your guesses. And then you settled back down. You guys both chose tarragon. Of course, tarragon. It's a spice, and that spice is green.
Yeah.
So, of course, it would be a shade of
tarragon.
Green. Yeah. That's right. Brian, you briefly chose Paranon.
Yeah.
Which is a shade of red.
Oh, good.
But you unselected that one. You also briefly chose Magnolia, which is a shade of cream color because
it's
of the flower.
Off-white,
Scott, you chose Malachite.
Yeah.
Malachite is a shade of green.
Yeah.
Good job. Good job.
Do you know why? Do you know why I knew that? It's a little embarrassing, but I knew what malachite is because you pick it up a lot in World of Warcraft by accident. It's just like junk. It's a junk drop, especially in earlier expansions, and you just sell it for trash. But they were always green, and it immediately kicked in that those were green. So that's why.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right,
I wouldn't know any other. There's no other way I would know that except for that. So.
Yeah. Right. Thank you, Genie Soros. Yeah, tarragon is an herb. That's true. By the way, Celadon was the other correct answer. That's kind of like a light jade that they use for pottery.
Oh, that's nice.
So the dinosaur.
Yeah.
Okay.
They all sound like they all sound like kaiju enemies for Godzilla.
Yeah.
They totally do.
Celadon and Malachite. Yeah.
Tenna, by the way, Tenne. I'm not sure about the pronunciation. Is 10. So. As it kind of almost sounds like. So there you go.
Oh, okay.
All 6 were colors, just only 3 of them were green. Nice. Let's get to question number 2. Scott going into this with 3 points, Brian with 1. See how we do with number 2. The 10 most popular U.S. girls' names of the 1890s. Yes, which 3 of these were in the top 10 most popular U.S. girls' names 130 years ago? Your choices are Anna, Helen, Emily, Virginia, Abigail, and Margaret.
Oddly, I just watched The West Wing yesterday, and they were talking about a book, talking about 100 years prior, and they were talking about some of these names, and I don't see but one of them they mention.
I heard those jackanapes at Max are going to pull that series, and I'm pissed at them.
What a bunch of jerks.
Yeah, I'm mad at them, dude.
Yeah.
All right,
you guys are both locked in. You guys, between the 2 of you, locked in on Emily, Virginia, and Abigail. All 3 of those are wrong. The correct answers were the three you completely avoided: Anna, Helen, and Margaret.
Well, you know what can't be trusted? All the westerns I've seen, because that's where I would thought of all those names.
Virginia.
Yeah, lots of Abigails, lots of Emilys. You tell Emily, I'll be back to the ranch after I go into town. Like I've heard these names, and turns out they were all bullshit. It was Anna, Helen, and Margaret the whole time.
Wow.
Anna, Helen, and Margaret. Anna number 2 in the top 10 list. Helen number 4, and Margaret number 3. I don't know what number 1 was. I'd be interested to find out. But Abigail, the 893rd most popular name.
Wow.
In the 1890s.
Jeez.
Virginia 87 and Emily 94th most popular.
I'm shocked how low that is.
Me too. Me too.
Yeah.
All right. We've been, you know what? Actual history differs from movie history. That's all.
It totally
I'll say.
does.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we go into our last question again. Scott with 3, Brian with 1. Let's
sorry,
get
Mommy.
into some Dungeons and Dragons. Oh yeah, you guys have no problem with this.
Oh yeah, give me some easy. Oh, what is this?
Which 3 of these are from the first edition Advanced Dungeons and Dragons modules, or which of these are first edition Advanced D&D modules? Your choices are Queen of the Demon Web Pits, The Bandit of Hell's Bend, Slave Pits of the Undercity, Glacial Rift of the Frost Giant Jarl, Savage Pellucidar, and Out of Time's Abyss.
Man, I had a bad case of Savage Pellucidar about a month ago. A little penicillin, it was fine. Cleared it
Had to
right
get
up.
a shot to clear that one up. Yep.
Yeah, it was no problem. A couple of days is all. Wow.
Yeah.
This is not easy.
It is not, because they all sound valid.
Yeah, I'm locking in with 1 because I don't want to press my luck.
I gotta go all 3, don't I? Dang it.
Yes, you do.
I feel kind of good about 2 of them. I'm not sure about the last one. Oh.
I like, you know what? If you do this, you will be my hero if you pull this off.
Oh, man.
I'll sing your praises. I'll talk about you to my grandchildren's children.
Fine.
Yeah.
I'll just go for it.
All right.
All right.
No way I can win, right? Or tie?
Oh, you can totally win because 3 gets you 5 points.
I should just went for a tie then. Darn. I wasn't sure about that last one. All right.
All right.
Okay. All right. Well,
Darn.
here's the thing. The other 3 are Edgar Rice Burroughs novels, and someone had pointed out, Pellucidar is an Edgar Rice Burroughs thing. That is correct. Savage Pellucidar is an Edgar Rice Burroughs book. So Scott, you lucked in on that one.
Yeah.
That's wrong. But let's see how Brian did.
Shit.
Brian selected Queen of the Demon Web Pits.
Yeah.
That is correct.
Shit.
Brian selected Slave Pits of the Undercity.
Yeah.
That is correct.
Oh, man.
Brian also chose The Bandit of Hell's Bend.
Yeah.
That's also an Edgar Rice Burroughs novel. Glacial Rift of the Frost Giant Jarl. Sean Bloom got all 3 of those in the chat room.
Nice, Sean.
Dang.
Get all 3 of them. So
I'm surprised these Edgar Rice Burroughs novels match up so well. They're perfect pairing.
They really are. Absolutely perfect. Yeah.
I wouldn't have thought of that. That's nuts. All right.
Congratulations, Scott. And congratulations going to Tristan Adams, who's going to get our games. He's going to get 2 of them anyway. Tristan, you're getting a copy of I Am Bread.
Played it. Great game.
Oh.
Ridiculous, over the top,
Isn't it cool?
silly, but awesome. Yeah, it's very good.
Excellent. And Hell Slave.
Also very good. First person boomer shooter. It's very good.
Okay.
Yeah.
It really feels like 2 opposite ends of the game spectrum.
Oh, they totally are. They
Hell Slave
absolutely.
and I Am Bread.
Yeah. They are very different. Hellslave's like a first person boomer shooter that's like all bloody and ridiculous and over the top. And I Am Bread is literally you controlling a piece of bread to escape a kitchen. That's it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it's really hard
Love it.
though.
Bumby, you're not going away empty-handed. You are getting a copy of Blade of Darkness, or I might give you. We have a few games that are European only, and so I might give you one of those because it's always great to get rid of a European only game.
Yeah.
I mean, give away, not get rid of.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I mean, give away.
We
to someone
mean-
who will enjoy them.
We mean excise like a tumor is what we're trying to say.
Exactly right.
No, that's awesome. Congratulations to both of you. I think you both did good today. And Bombi sent me a message that made me very happy today because I've been trying to find. Well, you know how did we talk about it on Film Sack? It might have been, but I think we talked about it there. The In Search of thing with Spock and all that.
Yeah, right.
Show,
Yeah, let's just say Bombi may have found me a complex way of watching that.
Thank you, Bummy.
Because it's not streaming anywhere. Nowhere.
No, it is. And the ones I've seen online have been trash.
Yeah,
like,
they're bad.
You can find some on YouTube and stuff. Like the classic Bigfoot, which gave me nightmares as a kid.
Yeah, I'll bet it did.
That was so terrifying.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I remember that thing. That thing scared me too, but turns out bullshit. All right, well done, everybody involved. Brian Dunaway, especially you, because that means you're set up perfectly to come back Wednesday with a major comeback and win that game.
Did you get my Discord message?
Oh, let me check. Oh, do you have a meeting or something?
Yeah.
Well, no,
birthday.
yeah, it's my birthday Wednesday.
It's your birthday.
I was just planning on hanging around the house, and then Audra let me know earlier that she's off that day, and so she's making plans for me.
Oh, that's nice. No, I'd much rather you have that for your birthday. You don't want to come here and get beat again. I get it. I totally get it.
Now I'm torn.
No, I know. I get it.
Torn.
I'm a little torn. All right. Well, let's not say that then, and let's say instead that this weekend we're doing Play Retro. And Brian, remind folks what game they should be brushing up on.
We're gonna be playing Rampage, not Redneck Rampage. No, we're playing Rampage from the arcade. Where you remember those three monsters, 3-player
Wolfman,
game in the arcade? Yeah,
Nondescript sea creature and giant ape.
You know what? Brian fixed my brain. I thought it was a lizard. It was a wolf man. You're right.
Yes,
It's a giant wolf.
man.
For whatever reason, I keep thinking it's a lizard guy, like a
Godzilla kind of thing.
Yeah, but you're right. It's a freaking wolf. I don't know why he did that.
It's a giant wolf man for some reason. No movie ever had a giant wolf man. But
we should have timed FilmSack to watch Rampage right around the same time, but we didn't think of that.
The movie, yeah.
It's not too late.
Still haven't seen
Just
it.
saying.
No, we got to do that. We got to do our dumb Craven deal. Yeah.
Craven, baby.
My wife last night goes, we should watch that, see if it's any good. And I said, you have no idea what I'm doing this week, do you? I have to watch this. She goes, ooh, I'll watch it with you.
You also don't need to see if it's any good, Kim.
Yeah, you really don't. Although she's been watching the new Roswell. So there's the Roswell that what's his name from BSG wrote, and it was pretty good. It was like early 2000s WB thing, and it was all about aliens and Roswell and stuff. And that was good. That was like a good classic series. Ronald Moore wrote it. It was quite good. This new one, WB trash, garbage, terrible, bad.
Oh, sign me up.
But she loves that stuff. So she's watching that right now. And she says, do you think Craven might be like that? I'm like, yeah, I do actually. I think it'll be bad.
Yeah. It's like that.
I think it'll be bad like that. The original Roswell's awesome. Roswell, New Mexico, the reboot, the one that just barely ended. I mean, whatever. Teach their own. Go enjoy your thing that you like.
Oh, I accidentally watched the Friday the 13th series yesterday because I was like, oh, Friday the 13th, click. And I was like, oh, I forgot there was a series that had nothing to do with Jason. It was kind of like a Warehouse 13 kind of thing almost where they had inherited an antique shop and had a bunch of cursed and wicked stuff.
Was it like an anthology, like a different story every week, or was it?
Yeah, every week. Yeah, absolutely.
I remember that. Yeah.
I kind of remember.
I think it was like was it on HBO or Showtime or something because I was watching it and somebody was getting choked out with some barbed wire and they had all blurred. I'm like, come on.
Yeah, what are you doing? Don't
Show
blur
me the
that.
blood.
Show me the blood.
Yeah,
Show me the
exactly.
gore.
Show me the bloody.
So hold on a second though. Aren't they doing an? Oh no, I'm thinking it's. Maybe they were and it got canceled. There was talk of a new series that was Jason based, and they were going to make a whole series. And they had somebody big in charge of it, and it was going to be a big deal, and then maybe it got canceled. I have to look that up, but there was something going on with that. Anyway, Dunaway, this has been a real treat.
No.
It's like a big sucker in your mouth, you know what that we're doing right here.
Gross.
And the other thing I was going to say to you was this thing, which I'm going to say right now, which is kiss our butts already. All right, there he goes. I really wanted to win today, Brian.
You did. You certainly did. Both things you won.
Yeah.
The kiss our butts and the game itself.
Indeed. Okay, everybody, we're going to do a quick news story before our break today, and it goes a little something like this. It's time for the news brought to you by
Picking the creamsicle controller.
Check this out. So
let's see it.
Reviewing this new it's by the 8-bit dude people. So it's orange there, but then it's got this kind of like it's hard to see here, but it's a little cream creamish.
Yeah, like not quite white, like a cream white. Yeah.
And it's officially licensed by Microsoft, but it's 8BitDo is the maker.
Oh, really? Okay, because I noticed that it has actually the Xbox logo on the center. So,
yeah, they got. I think that's what they pay for, because otherwise it basically is like one of their controllers. But I really recommend this. It has those new Hall effect sticks that will never get drift. They use that new magnet thing that apparently everybody's using. I don't know if the Switch 2 is going to use that or not. They better. Because the Switch 1 was a drifty mess.
The Switch was the worst about drift.
The worst. So let's hope so. Really cool stuff, though. Anyway, let's move on. It's not really brought to you by them, though. I just got this for me.
Okay.
no actual ad.
Brought to you by Scott, who bought a controller that's really cool.
Yeah.
And I don't blame him.
And they're on sale right now for like $30. So big recommendation. If you like a good I'm a wired controller guy.
Yeah, I am too. Yeah.
Because I just like no latency and just,
Exactly.
And this one does it does disconnect, so it's nice in that way, but it's not charging when it's connected. It's just it's just kind of got a USB connector.
Oh, okay.
Good controller though. I really like it. Even for my large man hands, it's good. Man hands. All right, let's get into one story. Scientists aiming to bring back woolly mammoth brought back woolly mice instead. Well, not instead.
What a terrible misunderstanding with size.
Yep.
Drawn on a napkin. They misread the foot to the inch marks. Apparently.
Yeah, doctors they get really crazy about putting blue ink all over the leg they're supposed to amputate.
Yes. Yeah.
And then they ask you 50 times. It's your right leg, right? Like they keep doing it until they're perfectly ready. It's like that. It feels like, oh, you said you said elephants? Shit. Well.
Oh, we heard mice.
Oh, it's a shame. Okay. Well, anyway, there's this plan to revive the mammoth. It's on track, they say, because they created a new species, the woolly mouse. Sorry, no moose.
Woolly moose, though. That's a great idea.
I'd take a woolly moose, but then people write in and say they're really woolly elk and they live in.
Elk.
Yeah,
that's right. They're just misnamed elk.
Let's see. Scientists at the U.S. biotechnology company Colossus Biosciences plan to de-extinct the prehistoric pachyderms by genetically modifying Asian elephants to give them woolly mammoth traits. They hope the first calf will be born by the end of 2028. Oh, there's a lot of stuff to come in at the end of 2028 I'm very excited about. One thing in particular.
Really? Oh, what's that?
The end of a certain presidential term.
Oh, yes, absolutely. That is, yeah. We all should have a clock on our wall. If we make it to 2028, then that is something to look forward to.
Yeah, there you go. Always have something to look forward to. I like that. Ben Lamb, co-founder and chief executive of Colossal, said the team has been studying ancient mammoth genomes and comparing them with those of Asian elephants to understand how they differ and how already become genome editing cells of the latter, trying to get them closer. Now the team say they have fresh support for their approach after creating healthy genetically modified mice that have traits geared toward cold tolerance, including woolly hair. Quote, it does not accelerate everything or anything, but it is a massive validating point, says Lamb. I would have a question for Mr. Lamb.
Yeah.
To what end are we doing it?
Right, exactly.
Just so they can say they did it? Or
Right. Just because brings us one step closer to a mammoth? Like, or what's next? Like a woolly dodo bird or
yeah. Like I get like if something's extinct, there's excitement in the idea that you could bring them back through whatever means.
Right.
It goes back to late 1800s. People would fantasize about unthawing an ancient man from the ice, and that maybe you could revive him. Turns out that science was not going to work. But
I may be a caveman that fell into a crevasse and was frozen for several million years, but I think the defendant's guilty.
I miss Phil Hartman.
I do too.
He was so good.
Unfrozen Caveman Lawyer was the best.
That was one of their best for sure. I don't know what their point is with it though. Like I don't know what the end game is. I'm sure there are other applications for genetic modifying stuff and all that, but these are awfully big to try to recreate. Like what are you doing? Are you just going to make a few, put them in zoos? Are you going to have herds of them? Are you going to
wild herds of woolly mice roaming the plains?
Yeah, you just do one and just say, here he is. We're calling him Hank. And he sits here and looks at you while you look at him. We did it, everybody. All right, on to the next thing. What do you want to recreate? An alligator that died 4 billion years ago. Okay, cool. I don't know. It just seems odd to me. We're
going to revive the Woolly Willy, which is the little magnetic cardboard thing that you used a magnet to give him hair.
I like that. I used to love that.
Iron shavings or whatever, iron filings or whatever they are. Yeah.
Used to love that. We also do this. I don't know if you did this, but in elementary school we had sandboxes, and somebody figured out if you rolled a magnet in the sandbox, it would attract all these metal filings.
Right. Yeah.
Which seems bad to have a bunch of sand and kids playing in it and getting it in their face and mouth and stuff, eating metal filings. But It was so cool because you pull out your magnet, it was all fuzzy with
all furry with the little, the little bits on there.
We thought that was so cool. We're doing our own experiments. What was I going to say? Oh, here's what I want. Make a woolly mammoth. Just do the one. Mm-hmm. And give it the voice of Raymond. Everybody loves Raymond.
Why'd you guys have to bring me back?
He'd say. It's getting close to my Patrick Warburton.
Movies.
I heard the saddest thing about Patrick Warburton the other day.
What's that?
He's talked about this letter he got from his dad, like a 4-page letter after his first Seinfeld spot aired, telling him how disappointed he was in his first TV appearance. It was just sad.
No way, really?
Yeah, it's like guys on the biggest comedy on television. It's a huge gig to get. It basically launched the rest of his career, Patrick Warburton's career, and all his dad can do is criticize his first appearance on there. That's a freaking bummer. It made me sad. I wanted to laugh, and instead I was sad, Brian. I was sad.
Yeah, I would be sad too.
Yeah, I'm still sad. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back from said break, Mr. Steven Schleicher will belly up to the bar and share some stuff with us from Major Spoilers. Come on back for that. First, a song.
Sure, I'll give you a little bit of trivia that's better than that Patrick Warburton trivia.
Okay.
Anson Williams, who played Potsy Weber on Happy Days.
Yeah.
His family name is really Heimlich because he is actually related to Henry Heimlich, the inventor of the Heimlich maneuver.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
He could help you if you were choking on a burger at Arnold's. He would have known what to do.
Did they ever have a scene like that where he
No, that would have been great. Oh. Ralph, step out of the way, Ralph Mouth. I'm going to give him the Heimlich maneuver.
Ralph Mouth would have it stuck in his mouth. That'd be perfect.
That's right.
I'd be into it.
All right, let's get to the indie in the middle here. This is a band called Hot Wax, Hotwax, just like it sounds. This is their debut album. It's called Hot Shock. The first song from that is called Strange to Be Here. Listen, if you like bands like Wolf Alice and Boy Genius, you're going to love this because Catherine Marks, who works with those bands or is part of those bands, or produced, I should say, those bands, is producing this one as well. Here is Hot Wax, the brand new album, Hot Shock, and the song Strange to Be Here.
Most of us don't know a whole bunch about computers, and therefore when we buy our basic computer, we figure it'll do just about everything.
That's life, baby.
And we're back. Who was that again?
That was a band called Hot Wax from their brand new album, which came out last week, called Hot Shock. That is a song called Strange to Be Here.
Hot Wax, Hot Shock, hot everything.
Hot Wax, Hot Shock. They're a hot band.
Yeah.
They certainly are. By the way, Dr. Calhoun explains that his Warburton's dad was disappointed, not that he was on TV, but just in the episode it was because Putty stole George's sex move, and he was disappointed that the episode he was on involved sex.
Oh, I missed that part.
Warburton's dad is a little bit of a prude.
That's right. His first, that was that whole swirl thing or whatever the hell was going on there.
Right, with the twist, yes.
Yeah.
Finish with a twist.
That show, dude.
Counterclockwise twist.
George. Was that one where George ate food in bed? No. That's a different one. He started to associate like Big's deli sandwiches with sex.
Right. He brought I guess the eclair he pulled off the top of the trash.
He was always doing something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, man. That's great.
Great.
Okay. We're going to get Steven in here. That's what we're going to do.
Yeah.
He wasn't here last week because I was under the poker.
Exactly. We decided to save the very Irish Stephen Schleicher for St. Patrick's Day.
That's right. That's the perfect time to do it. Here you go.
And now welcome Stephen to the show. He's a huge freaking nerd.
Dollar bills, y'all.
Hey, look who it is. Stephen Schleicher joining us from MajorSpoilers.com, all the way from Hayes, Kansas. Stephen, good morning. How are you?
I'm good, Scott. Good morning, Brian.
Good morning.
Good to see you. Did you... you need to... Brian's getting his physical today. I got my poke last week. You should get in there. Get in there and get some...
I have my 6 month... I go every 6 months, and that is on Friday. So I'll be doing my blood test on Wednesday or Thursday. I haven't decided yet.
Nice. If it comes out
and then I do my probably my next colonoscopy next year.
Oh, fun.
Gotcha.
I'm on a 5-year routine instead of the 10-year. So
do you got like a family history or anything like that?
No, it's just, the last time they were up in there, they were like, we saw, just a thing. It was fine. No problem. But we want to check in on it.
Yeah. So. Whenever they find polyps, usually, not always, but sometimes when they find them, they'll say, you're on the 5-year plan.
Yep, that's me.
Yeah. I was worried that was going to happen this time, and they said, no, you're clean. So
that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, they found a polyp in mine 5 years ago. So it's like, all right, you're on the 5-year plan, Brian.
So it must be automatic then. They don't.
I think so.
Now it is. Yeah.
Must be. Yeah. I think it changes so much because remember when it was like, get in there if you're 40. Well, now it's 45. Now it's 50. We're back to 45. Like they just keep moving it around.
That's right.
It's weird.
45 is the new, then the old, then the new, then the old 50.
Yeah. 50 is the new 45. Everybody get used to it. Stephen, it's good to have you here. We missed you last week. Terribly missed you. Here's what we missed talking about, and that is, we talked about Diamond Distribution and their whole reorganization and all that. But then you posed this question: has the comic distribution problem been solved? Has it?
Well, it's kind of gotten kind of complicated. So first of all, for most publishers, they have all pivoted away from Diamond and are now either at Lunar or Random House or one of those two, or they've got their own situation going. That's for your big top tier, your Marvel, your DCs, Dynamites, Mad Cave, Oni Press, all of those guys have all pivoted over to Lunar. So there really shouldn't be that big of a disruption. The problem comes if you're a small publisher, people that, kind of make up the back end of, they still sell like 2,000-3,000 copies a month, but they don't have 50 titles coming out. A lot of the reports that I'm getting is some of these smaller publishers are having a tough time getting a hold of anyone at Lunar to take their calls to get their comics distributed. And so there's probably maybe 5 or 6 small publishers that I've seen online saying, we don't know what's going to happen. We think we're going to be out of business because we have no way of distributing comics to comic book stores.
Oh, man. I don't like that. I like the little guys. I want the little guys to win. I want to see Diamond take a dump and everybody else benefit.
More on that in just a second. On the flip side, I'm also one person jumped into our comment section over at Major Spoilers a couple of weeks ago and was like, hey, listen, because of all these shenanigans and tariffs as well, my local comic shop in a fairly large city has decided they don't know what to do with distribution, how they're going to get their comics, and don't know how much more they're going to have to pay for comics. So they're just shutting down.
Oh, shit. I don't like that.
Yeah. So you got to remember, most comics are being published, single issue comics are being published in Canada. So if a 200% tariff goes into effect, or 25 or 10 or whatever the crazy tariff value is today, that will impact your comic books, which means it's going to be passed on to customers, which means fewer comics are going to be sold, which is going to be bad for everybody.
There's an opportunity here. I really believe this because we have two things burning on the same candle. One is this side of it that you're talking about. Small distributors taking a dive, small comic book shops themselves going, well, this is too much. We can't do it. So it does feel like, well, the physical comic world it's definitely going through a reset, if not a reduction. On the other side, piss poor on the digital front. Nobody's doing a good job. All 3 of the major things. So when I say that, I mean Marvel Unlimited, DC United, and Comixology are all kind of in the toilet in terms of functionality and features and user experience. They're not great.
I mean, it depends on how you define usability and features. I will agree with everyone that before Comixology was enveloped by the giant Amazon webpage and everything was folded into the main Amazon, when it was its own standalone site, everything was pretty good there. Now, the reading on my the Kindle app, that's not that big of a deal for me. But we're also seeing digital comic apps shutting down. Like Dark Horse Comics announced they are shutting down their Dark Horse digital app.
Yeah.
So you're not going to be able to get your Dark Horse digital comics.
So this is what I think. There's an opportunity
it's really
here.
Crazy right
There's
now.
an opportunity for a mega millionaire. If I was this guy, I would do this. Come in, reinvent what the digital side looks like and really make it awesome. Like user experience, discoverability, just really go nuts with it and recreate and even make better what Comixology tried to do before they got sucked into the Amazon ecosystem, and really own that and be a big enough dude, mover and shaker, or man, dude, lady, or company, I don't care where it comes from, that they can actually make that kind of impact with this and just own the digital side, because someone's going to need to, because I don't think anyone's ready for where all this lands. Like, where's it all going to go, and will it be any good? Are we just going to kiss comics goodbye at some point? That sucks. Forget that. F that. I don't want to live in that world. So
that, there's the other side too. Is I think we're set for a big evolution in that people may not be getting monthly titles anymore. You may have to wait 6 months to get a OGN of the Avengers, your next 6 issues of the Avengers arc, and that's going to be in a smaller sized format that can fit on shelves and last a lot longer. I've been saying this for several years that we need to move away from the single issue floppy and move towards, hey, here's 6 issues. Let's move to the manga style. We're going to cram, 300 pages of comics for $10 or $11. It's not going to be on the highest quality paper or whatever, but we're going to be able to get those out, and it's going to be appealing to people, and people will buy them and suck them up. And the main thing is getting them into bookstores. And I think, Scott, a couple of weeks ago, you guys said you went to the new Barnes & Noble, one of the new Barnes & Noble stores. You guys were talking about it. Yeah. So, Barnes & Noble's making a comeback. So I think if we can get stuff into a traditional bookstore, into libraries, that's the other important place, then I think that comics will survive. I mean, comics are going to survive, but I think the way that they approach them is really wrong. I mean, when you look at what Scholastic is doing with Dogman and Captain Underpants and Hilo and all of these others that are really getting into bone is still super popular among the grade school and middle school kids. And then you see what manga is doing. There's a business process that is wrong at the publisher, distributor, and comic shop level that is making, even though it's like $1 billion a year industry, could be $10 billion a year.
Yeah. And all it does is
reorganization.
When I use these crappy apps now, because they used to be like Marvel Unlimited, we'll use that as an example. They used to be way better. I don't know what happened. They just dumbed it down, and it doesn't have near the discoverability. When I go in there, I'm like, what should I read? And it's like, hey, X-Men something here, but they don't give you the beginning of the story arc that it's in. They don't tell you where to start or stop. They used to. They don't do that anymore. I don't mind waiting 6 months for that to digital. That's fine. That's okay. There's enough backlog. But navigating that stuff and using it sucks. So my thinking is, if they want to if they want to stave off what is clearly, and there's an uptick in comic book piracy right now. Why?
Oh, yeah.
Why? Because these services suck. When they suck, people go for some. If it's more convenient to pirate a comic than it is to get it legitimately, you have a big problem with how you're distributing your content.
Well, and then the other problem, and this has been the problem since day one, digital comics should not be the same price as a physical edition. Exactly. Instead of paying $5.99 or $4.99 or with tariffs $10.99 on a comic book, $4.99 comic should be $1.99.
Yeah,
$3.99 comic should be 99 cents. Steve Jobs went to the music industry way back when and said, listen, sell these songs for 99 cents and people will do it because it's cheaper than going through the routine of piracy.
Yeah, it becomes a no-brainer. It's like, 99 cents, I'll just pay for that rather than go through the hell of Alta Vista and Napster.
And imagine Brian Ibbott sitting there late at night, and he's playing Marvel Snap, and then all of a sudden, hey, this costume appeared in X-Men number 27, and you can click on that, and you can get that digital version of that for 99 cents. Yeah, and you could get that for 99 cents. Man, you'd have that right there in the palm of your hand.
They're just completely missing out on that extra revenue. They're so dumb about it. I don't get it. And they want, you know, Infinite's got this new Infinite Ultimate or whatever, so you can up your plan to get some day and dates, not all day and dates, but some day and dates instead of waiting the 6 months or the 3 months, whatever DC does. But it's just not enough. The experience is bad. It's just kind of shitty. I just want it to be good again because I love reading comics, and I am a digital guy now. I prefer it as a way to consume and not stack more crap up in my house. So give me a better way, man.
I've also moved over to digital because physical is just I have no room for it. But
you got no place to store them.
I discovered this weekend I also don't have the storage space for digital comics because we get all of the review copies from the publishers. And so I've been doing this for almost 20 years now. And so I went to my hard drive just to see the state of the hard drive, and it's like, hey, this 14 terabyte hard drive, it's at 13.5 terabytes full.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Wow.
You have a lot of comics, dude. You have the equivalent of a warehouse full of long boxes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I also have a bedroom that is,
literal long boxes.
30,000 comics in long boxes. So so let's go back to the Diamond thing.
Yeah.
So things are getting a little bit more interesting because Diamond is auctioning off, or the company that's dealing with the Chapter 11 and trying to get them solvent is auctioning off a bunch of their stuff. So the fact that everybody's pivoting over to Lunar, the fact that they are auctioning off things, including freecomicbookday.com. They have like 50 URLs that they're selling. So you guys might want to jump in there. I have no money to do these things, but you guys might want to jump in there.
Brian and I are loaded. We need places to throw money. So let's do it. Let's get in there.
All of that happens like this week. March 19th is the bid deadline for people to bid on any of the things that Diamond has put up for auction. I don't know if the warehouse space is going up on that auction or not, but you can find it online if people are looking. The fact that they're getting rid of so many of their URLs, trying to auction those off, including freecomicbookday.com, should be telling as well. The other thing that people might be thinking about is, what about Free Comic Book Day? We are seeing companies pulling out of Free Comic Book Day. Mad Cave Studios has announced that they're yanking all of their books from Free Comic Book Day, and these are the ones that are mostly kid-oriented. The Flash Gordon Adventures and Hero Bear and the Kid and Phineas and Ferb and the Phantom, those are not going to be available for Free Comic Book Day. Yeah. There are a couple of other publishers that I've seen who are saying, no Free Comic Book Day for us. Lunar is trying to do something where they're trying to get stuff out to comic shops, and they may cover the cost of it, but Free Comic Book Day may not have the selection that everyone thinks it will have.
I mean, it's kind of been a little bit abysmal the last few years anyway, going there. You go to a comic book and you're like, what are we doing here? These are all like pamphlets, barely comics anymore.
Like, exactly.
Yeah, I don't like it. Not a fan of where that's all headed. By the way, you mentioned Marvel Snap and Brian sitting there playing Marvel Snap.
Yeah.
I'm going to admit to something. Well, no, but I'm going to admit to something embarrassing. Because you were, I don't remember what you were saying, Steven. It's like, picture Brian playing Marvel Snap, whatever he said.
It does just sit open on my iPad for some reason, but I'm not playing it.
Well, so I just hit me 2 days ago. I'm glad he said it because I wanted to say this on the show. Is Snap called Snap because of the snap?
Because of Thanos.
Yeah. Is that why? Is that the joke? Not the joke, but the reference?
It's funny because they don't really show, like, one of the emotes you can have is Thanos snapping, but that's really the only reference to Snap being connected to Thanos. It's not like, they show more Galactus on this thing than they do Thanos.
Yeah, recently, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
so
I always thought it was called Marvel Snap because every time I play it and someone plays a card against me, I'm like, oh, snap.
Oh, there you go. I like that.
I've got the power.
I just always assumed it was the blip snap that, or no, I assumed it was just like a cute word that worked well. But then the other day I was like, is it because of Thanos? Is that the snap? I don't know. Ian says it's because you snap cards down. But I don't know about that.
I don't know. You don't really snap. How do you snap cards down?
Yeah. They got little fasteners.
Yeah. Right. You press down hard on it.
It's like your button fly jeans. Yeah. Well, anyway,
Are you
side
guys
note.
World of Warcraft fans?
Sure.
Scott is.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a fan of it, just not currently can't afford to play it right now. But
So Spider-Man is coming to not World of Warcraft, but I'm thinking Magic the Gathering. That's
Magic the Gathering.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not World of Warcraft at all. Yeah, Magic keeps getting all these crossovers, and Spider-Man's the next one, I think.
Yeah. Yep. So a lot of people will snap those up, I'm sure.
We saw there was some brawl at our Costco over a couple
Pokemon?
of some early no, these were MTG. I think they were Magic. I don't remember. There was a Pokemon fight at a Costco that made national news. This thing was, we just heard arguing in the Costco we were in over what I think was Magic the Gathering boxes. And as per usual, it's always like these scalper guys. It's never like collectors.
Yep.
So they were in there just going, I had it first, rah, 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 and they had like security over there. And I was like, oh, I'm going to go over to the TVs. I don't want any part of this. This is some bullshit. I want to go look at a TV I can't afford.
Walmarts and Targets for a while were putting, or at least our Walmart was putting all of the collectible cards back behind with the cigarettes so that scalpers couldn't come in and just wipe the whole aisle. But then that went away about a year or so ago, and so they put them back on the shelf. And now anytime you go in to try to get Pokemon or Magic cards, they're all gone again.
Yeah,
so,
just poof, out of there.
Yeah.
I'll never quite fully understand. I will fully never quite understand it. Like, I understand fandoms. The Magic thing just seems insane to me. It's just so much money and so much like people are willing to spend $1,000 on a single card. You'd have to really be into a thing to do that, I guess.
I mean, it's the collectible mentality, right? It's the same way with comic books back in the 90s. The speculator market would be like, oh, someday this Death of Superman will be worth $20,000, and now you can go pick it up in the dollar bin. Same kind of thing happens with anything that has a rarity thing to it. It also is probably kind of addictive. I know my youngest son is somewhat addictive to, I got to find the shiny Pokemon when he goes Pokemon hunting, and if he doesn't get the one, he gets upset about it. Same way with the cards as well. So there is that kind of dopamine hit that people get from that does have a big letdown. I don't know if a lot of the cards today, especially because they are so mass produced, are going to have the rarity like a Black Lotus that can sell for $1 million or whatever. So I don't know. I would just caution people that if you're thinking that your Pokemon card is going to increase in value like a Bitcoin, probably ought to invest that money in a Bitcoin or something.
Yeah, I'm not even sure. I'm not even sure the Bitcoin.
Not even that.
Yeah, I'm not even sure the Bitcoin will gain value like a Bitcoin. Depends, I guess. Depends on when you ask. All right. Well, this is fascinating. There's also more Batman movies on the way, and I assume we're getting Matt Reeves follow up. I hope we do.
So here's the rundown. So Ashley Victoria Robinson is back writing the weekly Did You Hear on the Majorspoilers.com website. And we're doing it a little bit differently. We're tweaking it with a little bit more in-depth thought, reaction, and stuff from the industry. But here's what we know. Post-production of Superman, it continues going on. Gunn is also working on post-production of season 2 of Peacemaker. Then they are halfway through filming next summer's Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, which will be a really, really good movie adaptation.
Ooh, Millie Alcock's in that, dude. Yeah. I like her a lot. She's cool.
They've started production on the Green Lantern series on HBO. There are going to be even more Batman movies coming, including Batman the Brave and the Bold, also an Authority movie on the way. And then
really?
Series, that'll be interesting. That one's going to be the one that's going to be most interesting because two of those characters are analogs for Batman and Superman, and they're gay lovers. So that'll be the really interesting
thing.
Midnighter and I forget Sun something. I forget what.
Yeah.
One another. Right. So we're looking at TV series like Waller and Booster Gold, and then animated series.
Booster Gold. Duo. Holy shit. We're doing a Booster Gold series.
I cannot wait for that one. That'll be fun.
Yeah. Or they'll F it up completely. That's gonna be a hard one, but we'll see. I mean, you know what? The Cena one should be bad, and it's not. It's amazing. So
yeah, if they can pull off Guy Gardner in this upcoming Superman movie, then Booster Gold will be easy to do.
Yeah.
Because Booster is just always like this guy that's always in for the grift, is always looking for a way to make himself wealthy and rich.
Yeah.
And he does it by traveling back in time to become a superhero because he thinks that that's the best way. In fact, there was an arc where his suit was covered in like stickers from all of these corporations that sponsor him, like a race car, and he thought that would be the way to get money. So that could be a really fun show. And then, of course, Clayface movie, and then maybe either a new live-action Teen Titans movie or another animated Teen Titans movie.
And these
are still in the works.
Are most of these, when you say movies, like we're talking to direct to Max, or are we talking theatrical?
That part we don't know yet because Zaslav. But it would be nice to see a return to the theater. Even though I hate the theater going experience right now, it'd be nice to see a lot of these things go back into the theater.
Did you see my corny joke about Zaslav yesterday? I don't know if you saw it.
No, I did not.
Okay, I'm going to read it to you. Here's what it was. Okay. It was a post on Blue Sky. It said, not sure you guys know this, but David Zaslav is Polish for, well, I guess I'll have to just pirate that one now, too. Because he took all the Looney Tunes down yesterday. Yes. All of them.
Yes.
That's lame.
Big bird to him. Lame-o.
They did that with, was it not Tom and Jerry, but they did that with a bunch of Looney Tunes cartoons a couple of years ago because they're just like, these are the ones that are not being watched very much. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if there's a general consensus that the quote-unquote numbers aren't there for them to take it all down, but it is kind of a slap in the face. More than likely, if you've been paying attention to what's been going on over at Netflix, they're getting a lot of these movies, these DC movies, showing up on Netflix. So it would not surprise me to see if Netflix shells out big money and does the marketing of the Looney Tunes right.
Oh, yeah.
Or Disney. Now Disney could come in and just say, "Yeah, we want all the cartoons."
Yeah.
I don't care where they end up. I just want to have them be available. Making this artificial scarcity thing just draws me to go to somebody's Plex server and watch them there.
Exactly.
I'm already paying you. Just have the thing. I mean, how much could it cost? The Looney Tunes thing actually feels Looney Tunes to me because
it does.
These are made in the 30s and 40s. They're ancient. Mm-hmm. Right. Nobody's alive getting those royalties
or free licensing. Yeah,
I don't know how that all works. I'm not going to pretend like I know how all of that works, but I'm sure, I'm almost positive that this is a cheap thing for you to keep around that is so important to the WB brand. What are you doing?
Or maybe like me, they walked into their server room and they realized, we've only got 14 terabytes of storage and it's kind of full up. Well, we need to get some stuff out of here before we get season 2 of Peacemaker.
I love that, dude. We're all out of drive space. We got to get rid of something. Cut the Looney Tunes and West Wing repeats while you're at it. Get those out of there.
Right.
That's funny. Well, all right then. This is all well and good. I'll tell you what. If you want to follow this kind of content, there's no better place than Majorspoilers.com and also the podcast network therein. What's going on over there? Anything cool?
Now listen, many of your listeners, and maybe you guys too, are familiar with this cartoon series called Amphibia, which ran on Disney a few years ago. It's a fantastic 3-season story. I don't think Van is quite old enough for it yet, but a couple more years he will be. It's about a girl who gets zapped into a dimension of amphibians, and she is trying to find her way home. Matt Brawley is the creator of that. I had a chance to sit down and talk with him for the Major Spoilers podcast. That interview drops tomorrow, Wednesday morning. And there is a brand new art book. That's The Art of Amphibia. That is just fantastic. That's coming out on the 26th of this month. So people will want to go check that out. And if you're a fan of Amphibia, this was a fun conversation. We talked about his time on Gravity Falls. We talked about the other shows, Big City Greens, that he's worked on and some of his upcoming projects. He's got a comic book project coming up very soon as well. And so it was a fun conversation. I kind of fanboy out a little bit with him just because the shows that he has worked on have been big influences on everybody in our household. So,
I'll bet. Yeah, I love that. I've even heard of this, but it looks awesome. It's got, listen to some of these actors. Troy Baker is very famous voice actors in there. Stephen Root as Mayor Toadstool. What?
Yeah, he's great.
Brenda Brayer.
Yeah, I love him playing Toady.
Brenda Song does the main girl's voice. Anna Akana does kind of in season 1 and portion of season 2, her antagonist in that. So they've got some great voice actors in that show. And it's all, the other thing too, it's all hand animated. I didn't realize when I was talking, I was just thinking that they were using, whatever the current software is that you use to animate 2D animation. But he's like, no, it's all hand drawn, and even pulled out a cell, a full-size Disney animation cell that was hand drawn for the show.
That's great. I gotta watch this.
It's good. It's a good show.
I don't think even Carter knows about this. She's way into this.
Carter should watch this because this is a good piece.
And you say Matt Braley? How you say it?
Brawley. Yeah, Brawley rhymes like trolley.
Yeah, and he's all involved in Gravity Falls, like you mentioned. She loves Gravity Falls, so I don't know why she doesn't know about this.
Now he's not Alex Hirsch, so Alex Hirsch created.
Yeah, he was just part of the art department.
A bunch of episodes, and how he got into Gravity Falls is a fascinating story in itself. And you guys can tune in to the Major Spoilers podcast this week for that interview.
Ooh, he wrote an episode of Steven Universe that was reviewed really well. I love Steven Universe.
Owl House and a bunch more.
That stuff's great. All right. Awesome. That's great. A new thing to watch. Well done, Steven, as always. Majorspoilers.com. And you got water where you live? You all right?
I do, actually. I got hey, this is the weird thing. I got a can of Liquid Death, not sponsored. But we've got a red flag warning today and a winter storm warning tomorrow.
And you got no mountains to soak it up. You got to just take it.
No, we just got to take it.
Yeah.
So.
Get out there, put your perineum in the sky, and let it rip. Talk to you soon. I don't know. I don't know why I said that. All right.
Nice.
Couple final notes, Brian, before we go.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm okay wrote in. He writes it like I am OHKAE.
Oh, hey.
I like I like a nice phonetic misspelling. It's fun.
Who doesn't? With us, especially.
And anyway, it was about the nurse that I had when I went in for my hoo-ha, and I called him Nurse Teflon. Is what I called him because I couldn't remember his name. Yeah. Anyway, says this. Was Scott's nurse named Tesfa? I worked with someone by that name for 4 months at L.A. General Hospital. He was an older gentleman who I believe was from Ethiopia. I think his name is relatively common there. Love the show, though. No, this was a short, white, Jewish man who was maybe in his late 20s. So,
Tevye was his name.
Yeah.
If I were a rich man.
It's a good point, but it's much closer to accurate, probably.
Yeah.
I can't remember it, but whatever Teflon's name was, it's not this guy, so I'm sorry. I'm okay. You're still okay, though, whoever I'm okay is. Nick from Western Mass wrote in and says, Scott, it's Nick from Western Mass. I thought I'd bestow upon you today one thing you said that was incorrect recently. Oh, I love those. Okay. Call me out. I have no problem with it. Neither does Brian. If we say something you think is up our butt and wrong, you tell us.
Totally. Please do. And they do.
Yeah, they absolutely do.
Feel free to continue. We love it.
He says, and the one thing that makes you awesome, incorrectly stated fact by Scott. Kieran Culkin was not the little kid in the movie Signs, as you stated on Monday's show, but rather Rory Culkin was the actor who played crazy Mel Gibson's son. Too many Culkins, I say, or maybe not enough Culkins.
Not enough Rory, really. I mean,
agreed.
Yeah, Rory Culkin. Do we know from anything else besides that?
Can't think of it. I mean, some kids movies and that's it. Right.
So stuff that we haven't seen, but
I can't think of anything else. I'll be honest. I thought they were this. I thought it was the same Culkin. Mm-hmm. I didn't realize Rory was. I mean, they all look the same. It's a bunch of Culkins. Right. That's what you get.
Too many Culkins. Too many Culkins. Too many Culkins.
But Kieran Culkin. You could argue that we've seen too much of him after that window scene in Succession. But anyway.
Sure.
I really would. You know what I'd love to do? Right now in New York, they're doing that run of Glengarry Glen Ross, and it's Kieran Culkin.
Really?
Better Call Saul. What's his name? I can't think of his name all of a sudden.
Odenkirk.
And then Odenkirk's brother, Squiggy, or not Squinty, Lenny. Not really.
It was
Saul's brother,
right? Michael
McKean. Thank you. And some other actors who are escaping me right now, but they're all up.
Bill
Burr. I forgot to mention him. He's up there.
Who's Culkin playing? Because he feels like he's too animated for any of the characters in that movie.
I'm trying to remember. He's probably the Ed Harris character, but I could be wrong.
Oh, sure. Okay.
That movie's amazing. Holy shit.
It's so good. Yeah.
But this cast sounds
Third
so
place,
good.
you're fired.
I would love to see those guys on stage. Sounds so good.
I would too, for sure.
Anyway, he then goes on to say one more thing that makes you awesome. I don't know about that. Scott, you have a great way of bringing people together to make valuable or meaningful content. Oh, yeah. And Brian, you're great too. Love the show, though. Nick from Western Mass. Well, I mean, that's nice of you to say. Here's the thing.
Thanks for the participation ribbon there, Nick. Thanks.
I will say this, though. Nick from Western Mass, it's people like you out there who consume the content and write in and talk to us that make the biggest difference. Otherwise, we're talking into the void. Who's out there? We don't know.
We're just yelling at 86 people in chat.
Yeah, and that's it. That's as good as it gets.
One of which yells back in all caps, but that's it. That's it.
That's all you get. So you want to write in like this and tell us who you are out there so we know you're listening. Your easiest way to do it is to use voicecast.app/TMS and send us your voicemails or your texts today. Time to get out of here, Brian. Do you have a song you want to play for these people?
I do. Oh my God. I can't believe you mentioned it because I just happened to bring one today. Cappy wrote in and said, "Good morning, Scotch and Bourbon." Not the only Scotch and Bourbon, by the way, that we got today. The wife and I will be departing on a cruise today. It would be the perfect day for a song from a local Celtic folk group called the Body Boys. Many of their songs are spicy, so if you can't find one that works, any fun song along those lines would be amazing. Signed, Cappy. Well, Cappy, sorry, I could not find a cover by the Body Boys. I looked at all their stuff and there wasn't. So I went on a deep dive. One of my favorite Irish bands, really it's an Irish singer who came to New York and formed a band called Black 47. They had a few covers, all of which were a little on the slower side. So I'm like, all right, well, let's find more of an Irish garage rockin' band. I present to you the Tossers.
Oh, shit.
Yes. This is their cover of the High Kings' The Rocky Road to Dublin from their 2008 album On a Fine Spring Evening. Here are the Tossers.
Oh, looks like someone just got their ears caught in the audio cookie jar at frogpants.com.
Of course. Nothing would make me moister.
Yeah. I don't.